Saturday, not Sunday, but just Saturday. So what we've got here is T-Moz, and today's day is DrT Tropical. I want to show you a couple things. First of all, one of those is my base on my main, and another is an operation hit in Triangle 9. Now, after that, we're going to talk about statues. So stay tuned. It's going to be amazeballs. You will enjoy it quite a bit. Now, let's get into the replay right about here. Now, first of all, this is my zmot base. I'm at 1260 VP or so. So, first off, these are against the top players in the game. Like anything above 1250 means, or above 1200 even, means that you're pretty darn good. So, I've been talking about the Grappler at shore. I wanted to show you specifically how it works. You'll also notice I have a hidden shock blaster at the back. I like to put defenses in dumb spots because people don't look for them. That shock blaster, no one ever notices. I usually have a doom cannon, but I figured with these tribes I'd put it up there. Now watch this. First of all, hide your mines. You see how many troops he's lost to those mines? He has like 7 warriors left. Secondly, his critters are a little bit late, and watch the Grappler. Taunt with warriors is OP, however you want to say it. But look at this. Grappler just pulls him away and says, "Not today, my friend." And then his warriors just get wrecked. This is a boosted player who is above 1200 VP, who knows exactly what he's doing, losing to a base that has no ice. And this happens every day, people. All you got to do is hide your mines, set up a Grappler, and possibly hide a Doom Cannon or a Shock Blaster. Shock Blasters don't hide quite as well as Doom Cannons, but just put it in a dumb spot. People will not notice. And you'll see, I get defends throughout. Obviously, my replay doesn't go back very far simply because of how many bases I lose and things, but I promise every day it happens at least once. Lots of diamonds, lots of gold. Not gold, obviously, but intel. Now, AK's best, the Alaska's best player, so rated by all of the Alaskan players. We had a fairly difficult red line. You'll notice that there's lots and lots of boom cannons. That there's an extra row of rocket launchers on the left. There's a laser on the left. There's rocket launchers by core. There's rocket launchers on the right-hand side of the front. So we could not use Grens and rifles to get the shield generators, which a lot of task forces are doing. So we used hookah to get the shield generators. Now this almost went down in 4. This is a spoiler. He does not finish it on the 4th hit, but pretty darn good. Now you'll notice the core has about 2 million health on it. Just over 2 million maybe, perhaps. I don't want to do the math. But you get the idea. Now he uses Bullit, which is brilliant, I think. I'll show you why in a second. There's flamethrowers all around the core. And he would have had to shock at least either have a perfect shock or 2 shocks, but instead he uses 0. Watch this. Taunt, showing off its ridiculous power. Now he does 1, 2, 3 shocks below core. Nice, easy shocks. Doesn't do the crazy 4 wide shocks. Makes it nice and easy. And look at this. 0 shocks on the flamethrowers. And Bullit is on the right hand side there, getting hit by those far rocket launchers. Just so good. It ends up doing about 1.8, 1.9 million damage on core, and core does go down in the next hit. So a fairly difficult red line, down in 5. And the first hit was just Everspark, so down in 4.5 if you want to call it. It's 5 hits. But anyways, it was I wanted to share that because it was a very, very good hit. But yeah, I mean, Bullit is just working in so many different ways, and that's one that I hadn't thought of, and using him to have the flamethrowers not kill your Zookas is fantastic. My powder is so low. The trader deal is actually pretty good today. I will not be buying this on T-Moz because I have perfect purples, but on zmot I will definitely be buying this. I will buy this. On HQ18 and above, you end up getting tickets instead of capacitors, so a little bit sad for you, a little bit good for me, because I don't need the tickets. We're just going to buy all of our free crates, and then we'll get into talking about statues. Come on. Now, I should have visual aids for this conversation. I apologize. I definitely should have visual aids, but instead, we're just going to move on forward, and we'll get doing on Dr.T, and I'll talk about statues as we go. Now, I get asked this a lot, what the best statue combination is. for different headquarters levels? And the answer is, honestly, it straight up depends. But I'll give you some of my suggestions, and I'm going to talk about we'll talk about HQ20. We'll leave out the lower ones. If you have lower questions, I'll answer it specifically. But if you're a max player and you want to be a beast in PvP, I think the best statue order is 5 gunboat energy statues, 4 damage statues, and 1 troop health statue. I realize that troop health is shunned by a lot of people, and they make it sound like it's this bad thing to have, but the bottom line is that you can do way more in PvP without boosting and when boosted if you have troop health. I mean, yes, you can take down the world number 1 without troop health if you use all Zookas, but you probably have to boost quite a bit. So what I've found is that since I've dropped troop health, I don't have to boost to clear my map at 1250. Like, I run into the occasional player that I fail on like 6 times, but end up getting them down. And I think there's been like 1 or 2 players that I had to boost for, and part of that is because I ran out of gold because I'm not terribly good. But so overall, I recommend troop health if your focus is going to be PvP, or if you're concerned about PvP, or if you're short on powder. If powder is not an issue, then you probably don't want troop health. What I would actually suggest is if you're doing an operation level deep cut and below, I seriously think that 7 GBE statues with 3 troop health is... 7 GBE, 3 troop damage is the way to go. And the reason for that is because you can solo so many bases without boosting. And when you do boost, if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter because you have extra GBE. Now, some people probably argue that extra damage would be just as good, but I find that my mistakes are my smoke is a little bit off, or I need a second round of battle orders, or whatever it might be. So if you're not doing Forlorn Hope, or you don't need solos, or you're in a 50-man task force, I think 7-3 is incredible. Now, I am using 7-3 in a 5-man task force. There are some things I can't do because I just don't have enough damage, but 95% of the hits I can do, and I can crush them as a result. So 7-3, you have to consider it. Like, it's just so much fun, especially with Bullit. With Bullit, 7-3 is so good because you get so darn many energy drinks. So please consider 7-3. It's so good. Now, obviously, 6-4 is, if you're doing Forlorn Hope and you're in a 25-man task force, or you're doing the Dead End or Deep Cut in a 10-man or whatever it might be, 6-4 is the de facto standard, obviously. But I don't know. 6-4 for me was fun, but I'm finding that 7-3 is more fun, and I'm also finding that 5-4-1 is more fun. So now, again, I'm in competitive task forces, but I'm not in like the Uber every hit counts task forces. So you may completely disagree with me, and that's fine. But for those players out there that are middle of the road and just trying to be a fantastic player, or trying to have fun, I really encourage you to try 7-3 or 5-4-1 for that matter. But and again, that assumes that you have tons and tons of powder. Or that you're not going to be boosting. Either way, Power Stone chance obviously is something that I also recommend. So take all of this with a grain of salt. You might not. You might decide that you're going to put down 7 Power Stone statues and do a leaderboard push. You might decide that you need 4 resource reward statues, which I think is crazy. Anyone with more than 1 just blows my mind. But there are many ways to play this game, and I know that I love to put disclaimers out there, and I don't like to be that expert who says my way or the highway. But oh man, This is terrible, 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 terrible pathing. They're going to go on the outside of the headquarters too. I wonder if I can still get this down with this terrible, terrible hit. Let's start. Let's find out. Well, we might actually. We might actually. I need to shock over here again. And it might actually even go down. Oh, it does go down! That's crazy. Stage 6 with many, many lost troops and terrible pathing. I feel like I needed visual aids for this. Let me know if you want me to, if in future videos you like just banter about game topics, or if you'd like me to spend the time to get visual aids, or I mean I could design graphics and have them pop up and stuff, but that takes more time, and more time means I probably won't do it, to be completely honest. There's a lot of things that just don't get done because of time constraints. And we get to go right-ish. And I still have Everspark loaded for whatever reason that might be, so we'll just go with it, but I don't think Everspark is the right answer here. And if you're using a statue combination and you think it's OP or amazing or whatever you want to call it, please let me know, because I think that it's important to change your statues. What I did for too long was I used what was known as the best statue combination. It was the best statue combination, so why would I do something else, was my thinking. But it came down to, then I'm using someone else's recommendations as opposed to actually finding out for myself. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, you probably should at least test to see what's best for yourself. Because once I put down troop health, I saved boatloads of powder. I mean, if you're one of those players that can take down world #1 with a full boost, that's fantastic, and it's very rare to see that. But I don't want to be that guy anymore. I want to be that player who can take things down using crazy troop combinations and learn things and do it unboosted and make them wonder how the heck that's possible or something like that. So many ways to play the game, and I've just discovered that I have more fun doing it with troop health, and obviously not on my HQ18 because I'm only at 493 VP. If you're at a low VP, please drop troop health. If you haven't dropped troop health before, just try it. Warrior players are saying with Bullit they don't need troop health. Zooka players don't need troop health. Hookah players don't need troop health. Gren players definitely do benefit from it, but I don't know. I feel like just change your statues once in a while. Like once every 3 months, once every 2 months, something. Throw something into statue storage. I'll show you what I got in statue storage here. Like I've got a GBE statue, I've got a troop damage statue, and a resource reward statue. So maybe one day I'll go 4-4. Maybe I'll go 4-4. Maybe I'll go 6-2. Just change your statues up. See what you think about them. You might hate it, and the easiest way to do it, obviously, is to put something into your storage so that if you ever need to delete it, you can. That's all, though. Pretty easy tropical today. All unboosted HQ18-ness. There's a bunch of predictions about the December winter update on Reddit. Go check it out. Put your suggestions into it. Put your guesses into it. All those sorts of things. But that is it for me. I'm going to send my submarine on its dive, and then I'm going to head out for the day. So that's it. Peace.